Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take the sources you're curious about, dig into them, and pull out the really important stuff. Basically a shortcut to getting properly informed.
Yeah, making sense of the noise.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're diving into the very start of what's known as the live idol revolution in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And our main source for this is Hidekky's Idol Chronicle. It focuses on this group, BiS, Brand New Idol Society.
And the timing here is pretty crucial. We're talking March 2011, Japan, right after the Great East Japan earthquake.
Yeah, a really heavy time.
Definitely. The whole country was in a somber mood and, almost all entertainment, concerts, things like that, canceled.
Right, just totally shut down out of respect, a kind of an entertainment drought, as the source calls it.
Precisely. And it's right in the middle of that quiet period that this group, BiS's, holds their first big solo show.
Which is pretty bold.
Very. So our mission today really is to figure out how this one show became such a big deal, how it sort of kicked off this whole revolution in the idol world.
Okay, let's get into it. The show itself.
Right. So it was called God Save The BiS, April 24th, 2011. And the venue was this place, Nakano Heavy Sick Zero.
Doesn't sound like your typical pop venue.
Not at all. It was small, underground, known more for punk shows, experimental music, definitely not the usual idol spot.
And holding it just over a month after the earthquake.
Yeah.
That alone must have felt significant.
Absolutely. Just doing anything live felt like a statement, though.
Okay, so the show starts. What was the first, whoa moment?
Well, according to Hidekky, it happened during one of their early songs, Nerve. It's off their first album.
Okay.
They start playing it, and it just kept going for, longer than a normal song.
Huh. Like an extended mix?
Not exactly. It slowly dawned on Hidekky and probably others that, wait, they weren't extending it. They'd finished it, and then they just started it again.
The same song.
The exact same song. And then they played it a third time.
Wow. Back to back to back.
Yep. No warning, no explanation, just nerve, then nerve again, then nerve again. This became known later as the triple nerve.
That is bizarre. For a concert setting, anyway.
Totally unprecedented at the time for idols. You just didn't do that.
So what did the crowd do? Were they confused? Annoyed?
You'd think so, right? But apparently the reaction was surprisingly enthusiastic. Hidekky describes this feeling like, whoa, I'm seeing something new here.
Interesting. So the unexpectedness actually worked.
It seems so. Breaking that convention created this weird, intense energy. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How sometimes messing with expectations is what makes something memorable.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the triple nerve happens. Was that the peak weirdness?
Oh, not even close. It kind of set the stage, Later on, they're playing another song called Paprika.
Right.
And apparently, the music video for Paprika had some provocative kissing scenes in it.
Okay. Where's this going?
Well, during the live performance, two guys, fans, just climb up onto the stage.
Whoa, okay. Security.
Doesn't sound like it mattered, because they get on stage and they just start intensely, kissing each other, reenacting the video.
You're kidding. Live? On stage during the song?
Live on stage. Hidekky describes it as totally surreal.
I bet. He must have been thinking, what is this?
Pretty much exactly that. He apparently thought, and I quote roughly, "I've come to a place I should not have entered."
Huh. Yeah, I can see that. You've stumbled into some kind of ritual.
Right. It captures that feeling of things spiraling, this disaster, as he put it, just building into total chaos.
Okay, so triple nerve, stage invasion, fan makeout session. What else? Surely they finished the set.
They did finish the main set, but then the encore.
The encore.
The leader, poor Louis, apparently just comes out super casually and says something like, we don't really have any more songs prepared.
Seriously, after all that.
So we're just going to play Nerve again.
Oh my God. A fourth time?
The fourth consecutive performance of Nerve.
And the crowd. Did they finally just, give up?
No. This time, it was different. As the fourth Nerve kicked in, the audience didn't just cheer. They stormed the stage.
The whole audience.
Sounds like it just surged forward. The line between the band and the fans, it just completely vanished.
Wow.
Hidekky's description is stark. He says it blurred the line between a concert and basically a riot.
That's intense. And this is coming from someone who followed idols for a long time.
Over a decade at that point, yeah. He calls it one of maybe the most intense and shocking live shows he'd ever seen. It wasn't just rule-breaking. It felt like a whole different thing.
So this wasn't just a one-off weird night. It actually meant something bigger for BiS.
Absolutely. This show kind of defined them. It set the blueprint for their whole career, really. They became known for provocation, for constantly pushing boundaries, challenging what an idol group was supposed to be.
So, connecting the dots.
Yeah.
This single show, God Save the BiS.
It became the catalyst. That night, April 24th, 2011, in that specific context of post-earthquake Japan, BiS didn't just play songs, they kind of detonated the old rules.
They redefined what was possible.
Exactly. They shattered those conventions and opened the door for this whole new wave, this live idol revolution. More interactive, sometimes messy, definitely challenging.
Okay, so let's wrap this deep dive up.
Yeah.
What we've seen from Hidekky's account is that Odessa's first big show wasn't just unconventional, it was almost accidentally revolutionary.
Right. The weirdness, the repeated song, the fan chaos happening in that specific moment, it struck a chord. It wasn't just the band, it was the audience reaction too, that embrace of the chaos.
Yeah, the combination was key.
And I think for you listening, this story is a pretty powerful example of, well, how breaking the rules can sometimes be incredibly impactful in almost any area, right? Those moments where someone just does something totally unexpected, they can be the things that actually spark real change, open up new ways of thinking.
It definitely makes you think. I mean, if repeating one song 4 times and having fans crash the stage for a kiss could fundamentally alter a whole cultural scene.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder, what other established rules in whatever field you care about are just kind of sitting there waiting for someone to break them? Maybe enthusiastically, maybe even a little chaotically.
That's a great question to leave things on. What's ripe for a little revolution?